We've all been there. You start a new mod pack and you've got a plan to build a cozy starter house. Sooner or later, you finish that build. You're happy with it, but then you start expanding. A couple of farms, maybe some additional storage for yourself. But eventually, you start working on the mods. A couple of machines in your house suddenly turns into having a full-on nuclear fission reactor in your back garden. You've got pipes in the sky and then some portal to a wacky dimension right outside your front door. Suddenly, your cozy starter house doesn't feel so welcoming anymore. Uh-oh, you've built a lawn base. But is this bad? Is this your fault? Is there something you could have done to prevent this? Or is this just bound to happen every time? Well, that's what this video is for. Highlighting what it is, why it happens, and reflecting on all the lawn-based crimes we've committed. So first, what is a lawn base? Well, in its most basic form, a lawn base is a base that either starts or is sprawled out of its confined area onto the grass, and now it's taken over the aesthetics of your build. It's the purest form of function over form, and I think we've all at some point fell victim to creating a lawn base. But what this looks like in practice can manifest in different ways, and it seems to differ from person to person and from pack to pack. So I've done the hard work for you. I've classified the 3 main species of lawn base that you will encounter in the wild. Chaotic good. Someone who started off with good intentions, built a base, but it's spilled out, and now they're just waiting to get that one thing to expand and build on their new structure.
I need 23 stacks of prismarine bricks.
Whether that's upgrading their tools or collecting resources for their build. Then we have chaotic neutral. Someone who's commandeered an existing structure in their world and taken it as their own. They're not a builder, and so this suits them. They can have an aesthetic base without knowing anything about building or design, but slowly over time, they expand, and before too long, they come under the spell of the lawn base. And lastly, some people just want to get to the end of the pack as soon as possible. Chaotic evil. A base to them is any kind of land they can chunk claim. They've fully committed to the chaos, and at this point they have no intention of building anything aesthetic. The mere suggestion of aesthetics gets scoffed at. We're talking maximum size nuclear reactors, pipes going wherever they want, ultra efficiency. These are the type of people who have a mech suit by day 2, and they'll have you questioning everything about your build. Oh, you smelt ores? Well, I 16 billion tuple my ores using 12 different machines, 6 different washing stations, along with 3 demons named Greg, and I have that all automated with the most perfect SFM code known to man, full of indentation and comments. That's cool, I built a pink house. So why does a lawn base happen? Surely, if we're playing larger mod packs, there are going to be more building blocks available, better tools to help you build, or even copy and pasting buildings from creative. So if we've got all of this, why does it happen? Well, I've boiled it down to about 3 reasons that I can think of, and I'll save the biggest reason till last because of retention. But honestly, I'm interested in your opinion as well on this, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, if you dare. But first, are you looking to host a Minecraft server? Well, let me introduce you to BerryByte, who I've partnered up with to give you guys some great discounts. They offer super easy one-click setup for any CurseForge or Modrinth pack like ATM 10 to the Sky or Feed the Beast's new Stone Block 4 pack. They have Ryzen 9 CPUs which are perfect for modded performance, plus automatic backups, global server locations, and a bunch of flexible RAM options. And right now you can use my link in the description and code BIGJIM to get $5 off. Or you can use BIGJIM20 to get 20% off your order. Not only will you be getting yourself an awesome server, but you'll be supporting me by using my links and codes. So a massive thank you to BerryByte for supporting the channel and hooking you guys up with some crazy discounts. Number 1. The lack of a connective theme. Despite having all the blocks in the world at your disposal, and now even more, it can be hard to connect the theme of your builds throughout the multiple styles of mods. If you want to build a cool, magical, mystical base, well, good luck when it comes to sticking a create steam boiler in the middle of it, or something like an extreme reactor. Trying to have a specific theme like cyberpunk or medieval, it all falls apart when you start introducing these other mod aspects in. You're often left thinking, well, how can I hide this, or how can I facade these buildings to make them fit more thematically? Number 2, builds too big. Some mods have large multi-block structures. These are your mechanism reactors, your occultism rituals, or even massive glowing RGB ME controllers. It's often really hard to fit these kind of builds into your existing base without them taking over in terms of visuals. They often need to have a separate room of their own. Or like I mentioned earlier, you go scorched earth and just build over it and pretend it doesn't exist. Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have multi-block setups. I mean, it's completely in the spirit of vanilla Minecraft. But I think vanilla Minecraft also has this similar issue with the beacon, or even the conduit. Both of which being quite awkward to fit into your world without them being the centerpiece. In my ATM 10 to the Skies Sieveless Let's Play, you should go watch that by the way, I've made a really sick solarpunk themed island, and I love it. I'm proud of it. And if it was a vanilla Minecraft build, we'd probably agree that this house is huge. But in modded, I'm very quickly running out of space. I remember when I first built it into the world and the comments that I got from the community saying, it looks great, but there's no way you can fit everything into that base. Maybe you should build your machines first and then everything around the base. And I think that's completely fair, but having something to encase all of that, I'm not entirely sure where I'd even begin. And I'd have to submit to this lawn base for the longest time before I even actually build a case around it. I think both of those have a massive impact on people's willingness to build. Why build something nice if it's ultimately going to be redundant and you outgrow your base later with larger machines? Or knowing that I'm going to have to sacrifice my medieval theme because I have to start on some of those tech mods later down the line. Which brings me into my last point. And personally, I think this is the biggest impact. Goals in mod packs have completely changed how we play. In vanilla Minecraft, we have no real goal after killing the Ender Dragon. It's all about doing what you want to do and building what you want. And quite a lot of mod packs also carry that same theme. The old Feed the Beast packs that I played about 10 years ago, they threw you into a world with a load of mods and no overarching theme. And I felt like I enjoyed building in those packs. Taking my time, and if there was ever a mod that I didn't like, well, that was fine. I didn't play with it, rather than being pushed into it for a goal reason. Mod packs nowadays tend to have a goal. The ATM star, creative items, the mech suit, etc. And don't get me wrong, this isn't a new thing. Even Feed the Beast that I mentioned earlier, their first pack was about feeding the beast with a specific item in order to complete the pack. But to me, there feels like there's been a focus shift. Most people don't care to be creative in terms of building. It's to be creative in terms of getting to that goal. So whether that's the automation, keeping things compact, speedrunning, or optimizing. Let me play a little thought experiment for you for a second. If ATM removed the star, would you still play? Would you feel lost without that goal? Are there mods now that you would now completely ignore because you never wanted to touch them in order to complete some form of goal? Now, I'm not suggesting that ATM actually does this, but I just want you to think about it for a second. How would that actually affect your gameplay if there's no set in stone goal? Do you reckon that creative spirit would come back and you could make your own goals? Maybe the lawn base isn't a symptom of bad building, it's just what happens when creativity crashes into efficiency. So what was the point in this video? Is this just an anti-lawn based propaganda hit piece? Minecraft's a sandbox game, and you can play in however which way you want. There's no expectation for you to make a house or a base, other than the threat of mobs. Boo, what a cop-out. Okay, well fine, you want my hot take on this topic, that's why you've come here. Personally, I think we've lost touch a little bit with why we all fell in love with modded Minecraft. We've moved a lot more over to completing packs, rather than just goofing around with some of the latest and greatest mods, becoming a lot more fixated on the completionist aspect of these packs. Quests, stars, items, and we obsess over optimization. And don't get me wrong, I do the exact same, and I will probably continue to do so in the form of a best geo farm guide ever video, because ultimately none of that is inherently bad. But I think that somewhere along the way we started treating modded Minecraft less of a sandbox and more like a checklist. It's okay to mess around, making the least efficient, worst looking fissile fuel generation using the laggiest pipes known to man, and you should be proud of it. It's okay to play a pack the way it wasn't intended, whether that's Sieveless or not using bees or mystical agriculture, purposely avoiding the easiest methods to generate that resource that you've done countless times in every other modded playthrough. It's okay not to race the completion of a pack, but most importantly, just build a fucking base, lads, come on! Thank you so much if you made it to this part of the video. Huge thanks to the patrons that you're seeing on screen. They got early access to this video as a thanks for their support. I'm posting behind the scenes content for my videos and some additional sneak peeks, so if you're interested, you can join that below. I know this was a bit of a shorter video, but I really wanted to make this video essay, not as an attack, but just as a retrospective. And maybe I'm a little bit naive for nostalgia and the good old days of building crazy stuff in mod packs. This video was going to have the ranking your cursed lawn bases in it, but the vibe was completely off, going directly from this essay style video into a meme filled ranking video. So I'll upload that at a later date as a standalone video, so don't worry, it will be made eventually. And if you want to submit any more of your cursed lawn bases, the deadline is going to be moved forward, so feel free, I'll keep that channel active. Thank you again for reaching this far in the video, and if you enjoyed this content, please check out my other stuff. I'm sure you'll stick around. Take care.